All right, the clock has started.
Shuttle, this is mission control. We are at T minus 30 seconds. All onboard computers should begin their final launch sequence.
Roger that.
Can you imagine being in charge of the Space Shuttle Command Center? What a busy job. In order for the shuttle to launch perfectly, the Command Center has to tell each part of the launch system what to do and exactly when to do it. Did you know that your body has a system that works the same way? It's called the Endocrine System, and it acts as the central command center for your body so that it can grow, develop, and operate like it's supposed to.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
What is the function of the endocrine system? A successful launch of the space shuttle requires many systems to work together. Your body requires the same kind of organization among its parts. Although our brains give our bodies many of the directions they need to function, it relies on the endocrine system to organize and deliver these messages. The endocrine system is made up of a group of glands located in different areas of your body. Glands are small organs that secrete or give off chemicals called hormones. Hormones are chemical messengers that carry directions from the glands to other parts of the body. The different glands of your body secrete hormones designed to do very specific jobs. These hormones are designed to carry directions only to the organs and cells that need their messages. Think of it like this. When the door to the space shuttle needs to be securely latched before takeoff, the control room sends a specific message only to the worker in charge of that area of the shuttle. Let's take a minute to review what we have learned so far about the endocrine system. Here's question 1. What are glands? A. Very large cells in our bodies. B. Small organs that give off hormones. C. Small bones in our feet. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. Glands are small organs that secrete hormones. Let's try question 2. What is the job of hormones? A. Repair broken blood vessels. B. Keep our bodies cool. C. Fight infection. D. Carry messages from glands to other parts of the body. If you answered D, you know that hormones carry messages from glands to parts of the body. Question 3. Which body parts receive messages from hormones? A. Only the parts for which the hormone's message is directed. B. All body parts get every hormone's message. C. The brain gets every hormone's message. D. A and B. The correct answer is A. A hormone's message is designed to be received only by the body part that needs it. What are the functions of the pituitary, thyroid, and parathyroid glands? We know that the endocrine system is made up of glands that secrete message-carrying hormones. But who is in charge of organizing all of these orders? It's the pituitary gland. This gland is located at the base of your brain. Don't be fooled by its tiny size. It is one bossy gland. Although it is only the size of a pea, the pituitary gland controls all of the other glands in your body. It takes instructions from the brain and produces hormones which it sends out to the glands. The pituitary gland, which is sometimes called the master gland, is in charge of making sure that all of the hormones get where they need to go and that they are on schedule. The pituitary gland also makes growth hormone. This is the chemical that kids need to grow tall. Think of the pituitary gland as the person in charge of the space shuttle's mission control room.
We copy and we're watching.
One place that the pituitary gland sends messages to is the thyroid gland. This gland is located in your neck, near your voice box. The thyroid gland is a butterfly-shaped gland that stores and releases the hormones that help our bodies make energy from food at just the right rate. This process, called metabolism, determines how fast your body will burn and use the calories from the food you eat. The thyroid gland also releases hormones that are important for the growth of bones and the development of the nervous system in kids and teens. Attached to the thyroid gland are 4 tiny glands known as the parathyroid glands. These 4 glands work together to release hormones that keep a steady amount of calcium in our blood. Calcium is a mineral that our bodies need to keep our bones and teeth strong and our nerves working properly. Clearly, our endocrine system is hard at work in our bodies. Let's review what we have learned about the pituitary, thyroid, and parathyroid glands. Here's question 1. What is the pituitary gland's nickname? A. Boss gland. B. Master gland. C. Commander gland. D. Organ talker. The correct answer is B. The pituitary gland is also known as the master gland. Question 2. What is the name of the process in which our body burns and uses calories? A. Digestion. B. Circulation. C. Respiration. D. Metabolism. If you answered D, you know that metabolism is the process in which our body burns and uses calories. Here's question 3. The parathyroid glands control which mineral in our blood? A. Calcium. B. Magnesium. C. Potassium. D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. The parathyroid glands control calcium in our blood. What are the functions of the adrenal glands and the pancreas? Several important parts of the endocrine system are located in your abdomen. The adrenal glands are 2 triangle-shaped glands that sit near your kidneys. These glands are made up of 2 parts. The outer part, the adrenal cortex, is responsible for keeping just the right balance of salt and water in your body. The inner part, called the adrenal medulla, secretes the hormone adrenaline. This is the chemical that is released when you are frightened or stressed, like when your brother jumps out at you from behind a bush on a dark night. Most likely, it was also released in our astronauts as they lifted off the shuttle launch pad. Adrenaline gives your body a boost of energy in times of stress and only kicks in when you believe that you are in danger. Think of it as your in case of emergency hormone. The largest gland of the endocrine system is also located in the abdomen. The pancreas, located near the liver, produces a chemical called insulin. Insulin is very important because it controls how your body uses and stores the simple sugar glucose. It might help to think of insulin as a key to a door. It opens the door to cells and allows glucose to enter and be used as a fuel for your body. The pancreas also has the important job of making sure it creates just the right amount of insulin so that the level of sugar in your body stays steady. Now we know that our endocrine system also uses the adrenal glands and the pancreas. Let's review what we know about them. Here's question 1. What chemical is released when a person is frightened or stressed? A. Growth hormone. B. Calcium. C. Insulin. D. Adrenaline. The correct answer is D. Adrenaline is released when a person is frightened or stressed. Question 2. Which is the largest gland of the endocrine system? A. Adrenal. B. Parathyroids. C. Pancreas. D. Thyroid. If you answered C, you know that the pancreas is the largest gland in the endocrine system. Question 3. What does insulin do? A. Controls how the body uses and stores glucose or sugar. B. Creates growth hormone. C. Controls body temperature. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is A. Insulin controls how the body uses and stores glucose. How does the endocrine system work? Now that we know all of the major players in the endocrine system, let's take a look at how the messages created by the system get to where they need to go. Once hormones are released by a gland, they travel through the bloodstream to cells that are specially designed to receive their messages. These cells are known as target cells. Along the way to their target cells, special proteins or molecules attach themselves to the hormones. These proteins control how much of the hormone the target cell can take in and use. Hormones are very smart. They will only communicate and travel to the cells that are specifically designed to hear their message. Our bodies make different types of target cells to receive all of the different hormones produced by the glands of the endocrine system. The messages carried by our hormones can only be communicated once the hormone has reached its target cell. Once it does, the cell will have instructions about what it should do next. That's because our bossy pituitary gland is always watching. It will slow the release of hormones once the body has what it needs to function properly. For example, once the parathyroid glands have released enough calcium to keep our bones and teeth strong, the pituitary gland will send a signal to the parathyroid gland telling it to stop making calcium. Our endocrine system sure is busy keeping our bodies in balance. Let's review what we have just learned. Question 1. What do we call the cells that are specially designed to receive messages from hormones? A. Receiver cells. B. Target cells. C. Communicator cells. D. None of the above. The correct answer is B. Target cells are specially designed to receive messages from hormones. Here's question 2. What is the job of the special proteins that attach to hormones as they travel to target cells? A. Fight infections. B. Create red blood cells. C. Control the amount of hormone target cells can use. D. Control the level of sugar in the body. If you answered C, you know that the special proteins control how much hormone cells use. Question 3. Which gland stops other glands from producing hormones once a normal level is reached? A. Adrenal gland. B. Thyroid. C. Pancreas. D. Pituitary. The correct answer is D. The pituitary gland stops the other glands once a normal level is reached. What can happen if the endocrine system is not working properly? Your body does a great job making sure that hormones are made in just the right amount and are released at just the right time. This keeps everything running smoothly. It is quite a balancing act for our bodies to keep everything working as it should. Sometimes our bodies can produce too much or too little of a hormone. Diabetes is an example of a condition that can occur if our endocrine system is out of balance. If the pancreas doesn't produce insulin, then there is nothing controlling how much sugar is in the blood, and blood sugar levels become too high. This is called type 1 diabetes, and the high level of blood sugar it creates causes people to feel very tired, hungry, and have blurry vision. Type 1 diabetes is treated by adding insulin back into the blood to control how much sugar enters the bloodstream. Sometimes the pancreas can make insulin, but can't make enough, or the insulin doesn't work very well. This causes type 2 diabetes. The good news is that type 2 diabetes can often be treated with eating a healthy diet and getting enough exercise.
Roger that.
Just as NASA's Mission Control Center organizes everything needed for the space shuttle to blast into space, our amazing endocrine system automatically controls many of the things our bodies need to do in order for us to live healthy lives. Wow, we have learned so much about our endocrine system. Let's take a minute to review. Question 1. What causes type 1 diabetes? A. The pancreas creates too much insulin. B. The adrenal gland makes too much adrenaline. C. The pancreas does not make any insulin. D. A and B. The correct answer is C. The pancreas does not make insulin. Here's question 2. What causes type 2 diabetes? A, the pancreas does not make enough insulin. B, the pancreas creates too much insulin. C, the pituitary gland makes too much growth hormone. D, the parathyroid hormone can't make enough calcium. The correct answer is A. Type 2 diabetes occurs when the pancreas doesn't make enough insulin. Question 3. How is type 2 often treated? A, with antibiotics. B, with proper diet and exercise. C, with surgery. D, none of the above. If you answered B, you know that type 2 diabetes can be controlled with proper diet and exercise. Here's a thinking question for you. Why is it a good thing that endocrine glands are considered to be bossy?